name is Liz and welcome to Nothing But Bags. Hi, my name is Liz and welcome to Nothing But Bags. I call this space Nothing But Bags because when I'm getting ready to go somewhere, I consider my outfit to be an accessory and my handbag to be the main event. Whether this is your first time clicking on one of my videos because this channel was recommended to you or you're one of my returning fellow handbag addicts, subscribers, supporters, or friends around here, either way, I appreciate that you clicked this video from the bottom of my heart. As you saw from the thumbnail title of this video, this is episode 4 of Nothing But Talk. Sometimes I want to just talk about something that is handbag related, something under the fashion handbag, luxury bag umbrella, that is not necessarily me unboxing a new bag that I purchased or going through what's in my bag. There really isn't much I can do except for what's behind me while I talk about something that is handbag adjacent. And today is Valentine's Day. I think it's the perfect time for this topic that has been swirling around in my mind for quite some time. As a matter of fact, I've tried to film this 2 or 3 times and scrapped it both times that I tried to film it because I don't want to be offensive. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. This is really from a good place, the way I'm approaching this topic. But I honestly want to know why in the luxury handbag community, why those people that purchase in the luxury community allow themselves to pay brands, luxury brands, to mistreat and abuse them. And so the topic came up many, many times. It keeps bouncing back into my mental space. And recently there was this viral story that was inaccurate, untrue, this doggone artificial intelligence about Adam Sandler's daughter being in a Chanel boutique. And this is all fabrication. It's not true. But Adam Sandler's daughter was in a Chanel boutique based on this viral story, and she wanted to look at a classic flap. And because of the way she was dressed, the client advisor in the boutique felt that it would be a waste of her time to serve this young lady because she certainly couldn't afford a classic flap. And the young lady called her father to tell him the story. He rushed over to the boutique. And so now that's when I knew the story is obviously fake. So is he in the mall with her where she's shopping, or is he right down the street and just left out the house and ran to the store? That made no sense to me. But then it says that he came into the store and he told the client advisor, you need to be mindful about how you judge people, because it was under this, the story was kind of under this understanding that the young lady wasn't dressed luxuriously enough to be shopping in the Chanel store. And as we all know, most people know, people typically that have money, you would not know they have money. I always say wealth is wasted on the rich because I get irritated when I see really, really rich people and the things that they buy. I'm like, I would be so much cuter if I was rich. I would be so much flyer. But if you've ever been to a luxury store, people are just dressed just casually. They don't wear suits and ties to go to luxury places. So I knew that was also a red flag that the story is not true. But then he supposedly came into the Chanel boutique, admonished the young lady for trying to judge his daughter because you don't know who you're serving based on what they look like or what they're dressed like. And then he went on to buy $300,000 worth of classic flap bags and wiped off the whole store's classic flap inventory. I knew that was a facade too, because he bought 5 bags. Because I mean, the classic flap is probably probably $10,000 to $15,000 bag. Hey, how many did he buy for $300,000? So the story didn't even make sense. Then it says that he ends up gifting all the bags to family and friends and his staff. I knew the story sounded weird and sounded blatantly unrealistic, but it did make me think, because we do know that these luxury brand houses and people that work for them have been abusive or mistreated people. Many, many years ago, there was a story of Oprah Winfrey, and I think she was in Europe, and she walked into a luxury house, and because she was Black, they assumed that she certainly couldn't afford any of their products. They did not know that she was a millionaire from the United States. They had her own television show. All they saw was a Black heavyset woman, and they said she can't afford to shop here. And that story went viral. That was an accurate story, unfortunately. But coming more into current day, There's this story, a content creator, Nalim Ahuja, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. She's a content creator in fashion, a fashion content creator, who had a really good relationship with the brand The Row, which is owned by the Olsen twins, and basically had invested her own money in purchasing these things and sharing her love of this brand with the people that followed her on her social media platforms. And a lot of people ended up buying the products from The Row, the clothes and the clothes and the handbags, because of her, and wanting to mirror her aesthetic and being very attracted to her aesthetic and her style, which she has a very beautiful sense of style. I will say that. Very nice style. And so recently, Neelam did an open letter to us, the people that watch her, and explained why she was no longer going to be in relationship with The Row. And she described how they mistreated her, how they would talk to her, how they would say unprofessional things to her. All the time she's buying her own product from them. Other than access, other than them allowing her to maybe come to their boutiques and see new items that were about to drop, early access, being invited to runway shows or fashion weeks. Other than that, she basically was just sharing to her audience what she liked to wear. And they would be offended if she posted another product in a post along with their products, or if she was wearing other brands in the boutique and shared photos of that. They would admonish her and talk down to her and be disrespectful of her. Mind you, she would keep buying their products and keep selling their products to her followers, her subscribers. But she was extremely offended by the things that they were doing and saying to her. If we go back to 2021, remember Purse on Fleek, and how she went viral for being offended that Hermes wouldn't offer her quota bags, despite her playing the Hermes game of purchasing the ready-to-wear, the shoes, the jewelry, the household goods. They were not letting her get permission to spend $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 on her quota bags that she was interested in. And she was extremely offended by that. And she got into a big altercation with Hermes, and they were questioning her mental stability and her mental health. It was real ugly for a while there. But again, why are you paying a luxury brand to mistreat and abuse you? A lot of people are having bad experiences, specifically with Hermes, and their SA or CA or whatever they call themselves are treating them horribly. And in this quest for this luxury bag, they're allowing themselves to be abused and mistreated by these brands. And I just don't understand it. The contemporary handbag community would never tolerate, would never. Coaches would never. Doonistas would never. In the contemporary bag space, they are offended if they order a bag and the bag is not factory wrapped when it comes out of the box. They are offended if something is dropped and their SA does not call them or email them and tell them that it dropped in the store and give them immediate access. They are irritated if they call the 800 number and give them a product code and they don't place their order for them and it hadn't even been released in the store yet. The contemporary handbag and fashion environment would never allow someone that they're paying their money to treat them or mistreat them or abuse them the way the luxury industry does.
Gotta do it. You don't have to worry about me. You do not have to worry about me.
Pivoting a little bit, there's this recent story for the Super Bowl people of Cardi B. Cardi B, I've always been a fan of hers because she had this meteoric rise. I used to watch reality TV when she was on Love and Hip Hop. So I saw this girl who was an internet, had acquired some internet fame, go to Love and Hip Hop, and then create this huge career where now she's one of the greatest hip hop artists of our time. This young lady has more Birkin bags than I have back here. including little small bags. You see, she has more. Her daughter, who's a itty bitty, has Birkin bags and Kelly bags, 20, 30, $40,000 bags, a little child. So this woman who has all of this wealth, she's invited to Fashion Week. She's given private showings at some of the biggest European luxury houses in the world. They open their doors and have private showings for her. She owns dozens and dozens, if not hundreds, of Hermes Birkin bags, exotics. I mean, the most expensive bags that you can think of. And this has a body shape that is one I may not be drawn to, but it's very desirable on the part of women to the point where they go have surgery to look like that. And men claim that that's the body that they're most attracted to. She's wealthy, she's successful, she has a shape that is one that people admire and want to have. And yet she engages in a relationship with a man who has multiple women that are pregnant at the same time that she's pregnant or close to it. And he's cheating on her openly. The story is at the Super Bowl, he had another one of his female friends, or whatever these women call themselves, sitting next to his mother at the Super Bowl, which was disrespectful of Cardi, who's supposed to have a child with him, recently had a child with him, and they're supposed to be in a relationship with each other, according to her and according to the rumor mill. In fact, when he's at press conferences, the news reporters asked him about his relationship with Cardi. He was asked recently when she was going to get a ring. Well, they broke up because he was cheating on her. Why does a woman who has success, fame, wealth, a shape that is enviable, why does this woman subject herself to a relationship with a man that has no respect for her? Why do wealthy people who spend thousands and thousands of dollars on handbags and clothes allow a brand to disrespect them when they should be treated at their highest expectation for themselves? I picked this topic for Valentine's Day because this is the time we show love to our girls, our sisters, our friends, the women that we call when our relationships are going through something, the ones we call when we lose our job and we need somebody to vent to or cry on the shoulder of, the ones that we travel with, the ones that we have happy hour with after work and then about our day, the ones that we go to brunch with. This is the day we celebrate our friendships with our sisters, the females that we love in our lives. And I want to tell the women that I love in the handbag community, whether you are an Hermes customer or you're a Coach customer, whether you spend $100 on an Olita or you spend $30,000 on a Birkin bag, you deserve to be treated at your highest expectation for yourself. There is no bag or no acquisition that is so viable and so important and so valuable that you should be mistreated so that you can acquire it. I have handbag sisters in the contemporary handbag community that if something bad happens in the customer service of receiving a bag, if they are mistreated, or if there's something wrong with the handbag, or there's anything in that experience of the purchase that is dissatisfying or unhappy or disappointing, that handbag will always have that emotion embedded in it. If you had a bad experience when you were purchasing the bag, whether you were in the boutique or whether you were just talking to somebody on the phone to order it, it will always have a negative connotation to it. For me, I don't care if I could afford a $20,000 bag. If I was mistreated by the person that sold it to me, that every time I looked at that bag, I would think how horrible I was treated and how bad an experience it was. There's an episode of A Different World, one of my favorite shows when I was coming up in my college and high school years, where Whitley Gilbert, a young Black character on the show who happens to be extremely wealthy, went into a luxury store. And the young lady that was working in the store was very obviously hesitant to serve her or take care of her because she automatically assumed that because Whitley was a Black woman, an African-American female, that she couldn't afford anything in the store. And so to disprove this ill treatment of her by this woman, Whitley went on to spend thousands of dollars with her. And when she went back to the dorm to talk about it, her friends were like, so you gave this female that was disrespecting you and mistreating you a commission? You made money for her? And she realized how buying something from this woman who disrespected her and who was racist against her, giving her money was counterproductive and counterintuitive. I know that wealthy people look at money differently than I do. Obviously, if it's something that you readily have access to, or you have a lot of it, then you look at it way differently than those of us that don't have a lot of it. And I get it. If I was rich, my biggest problem would probably be how to acquire an Hermes bag. But even though you're rich, even though you're wealthy, even though you're able to go into Hermes and buy anything that you want, you still deserve to be treated at your highest expectation for yourself. Your highest expectation for yourself when you call a client advisor, when you go into a boutique, should be, hello, Miss Tyson, how are you today? What can I show you? Would you like a glass of champagne? Do you want to shop around in the open boutique, or would you like to come back to one of our private rooms? You should be treated like you are experiencing a luxurious experience because you deserve it. Not because you're rich, because you're human. Anyway, to all my Galentines out there that love handbags like I do, if you have been doing business with, patronizing, spending your money with someone who does not treat you at your highest expectation for yourself, you should want better for you, because I do. I want better for you. I want better for Neelam because she's a beautiful woman. She has a great aesthetic. I want her to be celebrating a brand and wearing clothes and shoes and handbags from a brand that values her and appreciates her. There are so many brands out there that would be honored for her to share their items with her audience. My girl, Lakia Chanel, has a new brand, Claw. She would love to have a large audience content creator to acquire one of her pieces and share them with their audience and give her that visibility. She would appreciate it. She would value it. And she would treat that customer or that content creator like they deserve to be treated. Happy Valentine's Day. I hope that today you're going to love on yourself, not by spending money on bags with people that don't care about you, but treating yourself at your highest expectation for yourself by doing business with companies that treat you the way you deserve to be treated. Drop down in the comment section and tell me what you think about this topic in a respectful way, because I treat myself at the highest expectation for myself. So watch how you talk to me in the comment section. And the only other thing that I ask of you is that you have an absolutely wonderful day.